Downstream of Manaus, where the Rio Negro and Amazon meet, Catalão is one of the many lakes formed by the roaming waters. Though they have no running water or electricity, the community which lives here are used to coping with life on the river. Every house in the village is designed to float. Even the builders here work on water. But in 2005, life changed in a way these villagers could never have imagined. In the summer of that year, the Amazon suffered the worst drought on record, wreaking havoc in the region. On Lake Catalão, the residents found themselves totally isolated. Raimunda Viana remembers the effect it had on the community.
For us, the situation was a disaster. There was a lot of hunger because the fish died. The floating houses were stranded, there was no water, and we had to walk to get to the river. We had to carry water on our heads and bring it back for washing and drinking.
The villagers became desperate as the shrinking waters filled with dying fish. When their food and water supplies dwindled to nothing, the people congregated every day at the church to pray for an end to their suffering.
So we begged God to send rain. And when the rain came, people would be by the gutter, collecting the water in little bowls from the gutter, just for something to drink, and to avoid carrying the water in the hot sun.
The situation was the same all over the Amazon. River waters receded so far that boats became stranded. There were even stories of fish being cooked alive in the heat of the shallow waters. As the river dried up, the jungle suffered too, transformed from wet sponge to tinderbox. An area of more than 1,000 kilometers square was lost to forest fires. The smoke prolonged the crisis, inhibiting the formation of clouds and making the drought worse.
E o Espírito Santo se move em você. Você tem valor.
When their prayers were answered and the rains eventually arrived, the people of the Amazon assumed the drought of 2005 was a once-in-a-lifetime event. But a year later, the droughts returned. As a pattern emerges, scientists are beginning to question why this river is suffering such unprecedented change. Many blame deforestation for the increase in droughts. Trees are the water towers of the Amazon, drawing moisture from the ground and releasing it into the atmosphere until it eventually falls again as rain. But an area of jungle the size of 6 football pitches is cut down every minute, destroying the water cycle which is the lifeline of this region. What's more, the burning of forests is increasing global warming and the likelihood of further droughts. For though the trees of the Amazon produce more than 20% of the oxygen on Earth, deforestation fires are now responsible for 1/4 of all greenhouse gas emissions. For the river, the crisis is even more immediate, as most of its water comes from precipitation. Without rain from the rainforest, the Amazon as we know it would cease to exist. And the further the river continues on its eastward course, the greater the threat becomes.